My name is Jason Hoeksema. I'm a professor of biology at the University of Mississippi in the southeast part of the United States. In my research, I study fungi and trees and forests and their ecology and their evolution, including nutrient cycling and competition between species. And I'm happy to be here in Leticia for the Congress of the South American Mycorrhizal Research Network.
What sparked your interest in mycorrhizing?
What sparked my interest in mycorrhizae actually was the fascinating ecology of plants that I was learning about when I was a student. And in fact, what I was learning was that the ecology of plants, how forests work, how plants interact with each other, was really missing the role of symbiotic fungi, which I had learned are really abundant on the roots of plants and in soils of forests and other habitats, and yet none of the big ideas about how plants were competing with each other and how plant communities work was taking into account these really abundant organisms that are on the roots of almost all plants in the world. And I thought, okay, that's something I could spend my career trying to work on. So that's what got me into it, was just really the lack of big ideas in plant ecology about how these fungi affect everything. And there are tons of cool research questions to work on that have not only theoretical implications, but really practical implications as well. For example, for management of agriculture and forests.
So what's a common misconception you see when you talk to someone that is outside this type of event?
Yeah, a common misconception I see, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, is the idea that trees and forests are communicating with each other below ground and helping each other this way, and that the science of that is completely settled. In fact, we're learning still a lot about the phenomenon of mycorrhizal fungi in forests and how they may connect trees and the consequences of that. But in my research, what we have found is that there's a lot of variability in how fungi may benefit trees under some circumstances, may have neutral effects under other circumstances, and yes, they do form connections between trees, and they may sometimes facilitate communication among trees. But in fact, it turns out that what it looks like from experimental data is that sometimes trees are benefiting from those connections from one to another through these fungi. Sometimes they're not. And there are still a lot of mysteries about exactly how that works. So what I would say is that the big misconception is that the science of mycorrhizal networks in forests is all figured out. In reality, there are really big open questions about how it all works and lots of exciting mysteries to tackle.
What would you advise to someone that's beginning the journey of research?
So my advice to someone who's beginning the journey of research would be a couple of things. One is to make sure that you find good mentors that are supportive of you, that want the best for you, mentors that are helping you to learn skills, mentors that are present and available to provide advice, to provide help with your research, and also mentors that can provide good career advice. And then finally, mentors that are doing strong science, that are well respected, that are asking big questions. I hope that young people getting into the field of mycology and mycorrhizal biology will think big. Don't just think about how the organisms work. Don't just think about what's happening with this tree species, this fungal species, this community here, but instead think about the big questions that you can answer that are broader than just the organisms that you're working on.
What has the study of these organisms teach you for your daily basis life?
I would say that on a daily basis, what these organisms and the study of these organisms has taught me is that, first of all, I can have fun hobbies like cooking with wild mushrooms and actually being a mycorrhizal ecologist has helped me learn to identify mushroom species, some of which are edible and delicious, and I can bring them into the kitchen and really enhance the cuisine of my house. And so that's a lot of fun. It's also beautiful and fulfilling to be in forest habitats. Fungi are beautiful organisms. I love to photograph them. I love to just be in the woods around my home and appreciate that there's this below ground interactions on the roots of plants that are really important for the health of plants, and being able to do research that gets me out into those habitats on a daily basis is really a blessing, because it's healthy to be outdoors, to be in forests surrounded by plants and fungi.
Thanks. For you, what's mycorrhizing your life in one word?
Mycorrhizae in my life in one word, I would say mutualism. Mutualism, because mutualism is a kind of interaction where both parties benefit, and this is true not only for the plants and fungi often, but also for people. In my research field, I have found that collaboration is essential. People working with other people, and everyone benefits.
Pretend you're talking to a 5-year-old kid, and you have to summarize what you taught us today in 2 points.
Summarize my research talk that I gave, or
Today's.
Yeah. In 3 key points, my research talk today. Okay, so first of all, trees in forests have mushrooms that are attached to their roots. We know this, and this is really exciting because it's a close interaction where both the trees and the mushrooms are benefiting from living with each other. They're both giving each other food to sustain their lives. But secondly, there's a lot of interest in the fact that different trees may be connected to each other through these fungi. And although what you've seen maybe on movies, maybe what you've heard about on the radio or from your parents or at school, recently those media have been talking about how trees are talking to each other through these fungi. But in fact, there's a lot we don't know about how that works. These trees are probably connected through mushrooms underground, but it's a big mystery, and scientists are still trying to figure it out. So I hope that you'll grow up to be a forest ecologist working on fungi and help solve some of these mysteries.
And the last one, it's the scenario we have now, that it's Amazonas.
Say that again.
What's for you the meaning that this symposium was in Amazonas?
Yeah. Well, for me personally, it was very exciting to come to the Amazon. I have never been to South America before, and coming here, the purpose for me personally was to make new connections with new people, new relationships, new collaborations, new research, and to get ideas and to really stimulate my research, stimulate my collaborations, and build something new. And I had already had really great experiences getting to know part of this community, but it was unsatisfying because it was at a distance over email and on Zoom, and to have the opportunity to come here and do this was a great opportunity to connect with people face to face. But to do it in the Amazon was just a dream, because it's a famous ecosystem that I've heard so much about, read so much about. To be here in person was really a dream come true. To see the forests, the birds, the fungi, and of course all the trees was really amazing. So I'll never forget it.